Welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Koffee. I'm Mr. King. Y'all know my partner, Joe Cool.
What's the word?
All right, so we know it's summertime. So this is when all speculation starts. You know, this is when the time to get crazy. So you can have some fun talking about some things. But first, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video with a friend.
Yes, sir.
So this is what I was thinking about, too. I was watching the other day where the Knicks are not going to renew General Manager Scott Perry's contract. So, and since Steve Mills left and we got Leon Rose in him, he's been quietly now behind the scenes. If you notice, almost like we don't got him no more, but apparently he's been working with us behind the scenes. But I wonder, did that come before the decision, before or after Golden State Warriors GM stepped down? Because he left the door open, the Warriors GM, that he was still, you know, he don't know what his future holds. So is the door open that the Knicks might try to pursue him, or just was it time to move on from Perry?
But with Scott Perry, I don't even think they're gonna renew his position, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. The Knicks are not. Yeah, so
you're talking about they're gonna put somebody in his place?
Yeah, I think they will, because the president is Leon Rose.
Right.
Now different organizations, the president and GM have different roles. In some organizations, the GM has all the say. And then in other organizations where you have a GM, the president got all the say. And that was our problem when... So then what does World Wide West do? Honestly, I can't even tell you. I mean, besides his title.
That's what's his title?
Yeah, I think he's... I don't remember anymore. But I thought they were coming in as president and GM. But he's more almost like some kind of special advisor. Because he's attached to the hip to Leon Rose. But when we had Steve Mills... when they was trying to get, what's the one that was in Cleveland that was getting LeBron, all these players? I forget his name. Anyway, he was going to come to the Knicks as a GM, but he wanted full autonomy, and Steve Mills didn't want to give him that as the president. So if we get a GM with Leon Rose, like what's the role of that person now as far as authority? Because Leon Rose, even though he was an agent, he's still young in the game as far as that's concerned.
So with him, he didn't make all these recent, all the most recent things we did. He didn't have nothing to do.
Who's that?
What's his name? Scott Perry.
I think he did. I think he.
I mean, I think I seen a clip on when it happened, but he said he was only part of like the Frank Ntilikina and.
Well, that's because Steve Mills was there. He was part of bringing those people.
After.
Yeah, after...
I think that was all World Wide West and...
Yeah, that was them picking the players, but I think he's probably the one, because he is a GM.
Sign off on it?
No, he probably knows how to navigate once they decide who they're going to get. That's why they probably got to still go out and get a veteran GM, because West and them, that's not their job. You know, Rose was an agent. Yeah, you know the job because you dealt with the GMs, but now you sitting on that side, so you still need somebody to help you navigate the process.
Right. So
unless y'all just go full autonomy, but
I mean, with the moves we've been making, now we got maybe we do need a specialized person in that role, a different face, because I think that was our issue anyway with the Knicks, with Scott Perry and the other guy
Mills.
Yeah,
Perry I like.
But remember, it was almost like nobody would tell them no, or I don't know, over the years.
Yeah, Mills to me was the
more
one
back then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I complained about Mills because it was
he's
the one I think that dragged his feet on a lot of, because he came from the business side of the Garden, and when he translated over into the basketball side, he was out of his element to me. But again, he didn't want to relinquish power to the people that knew what they was talking about.
That's what I'm saying. I remember a lot of times you screaming at the TV like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. It's like we were already complaining about the owner. Butting in, and then now you butting in on this side. The one thing I did like about the Isaiah Thomas era was that he kept a capologist on his side. That when he wanted to at least try to make a trade, he had somebody there to work the numbers right in their head right away. So even though, okay, we didn't get the biggest names, we got a lot of good names under Isaiah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, at that time period, I think that's when I started watching more, because I think Marbury was there.
Yeah, right? He brought Marbury in, yeah.
So he got a lot of people that everybody wanted. I remember we had T-Mac, Steve Francis at the same time.
Yeah, but I know you say that, but I always count they wasn't nothing.
I mean, but when it happened,
yeah,
I don't know. I just remember being young
like,
and that happened.
You get like Tim Thomas, you get Al Harrington. Yeah. When he came, we had nobody. Zero.
Al Harrington went on to be better.
We just had Allen Houston
off the Knicks.
Yeah.
But Allen Houston, by the time
Al Harrington was good with us.
I'm talking about, huh?
He was good with us.
He was good with us, but I'm saying he went on to be better.
Well, he was good before us, and he was good. Yeah,
Allen Houston at that time, I think, was hurt a lot. By the time I was watching, I think Antonio McDyess was on his way out, and then Allen Houston was just hurt.
Well, we just never that team never got a chance to play right together with Mutombo, Van Horn, McDyess, Allen Houston, Marbury. It never got a chance to play because of injuries. But that would have been a good start. But that's just the point of Isaiah will never get credit because of our record. But take the team that he walked in the door with. And the players and that was his goal at the time was to get players. Yeah, because we had no cap, so he took the blame for a cap that we didn't have when he got there. We had no players, and I remember his press conference that he was going to try to bring in people that you could trade, and that's what he did. Just our record never showed. But getting back to this one with Scott Perry, I always liked Scott Perry though with the Knicks, but again, you can only do so much if you don't have all the say. You know, so I think he's clever, but I do think it might be time to move on from him. But now my question for today so far would be, do you think the Knicks will chase a trade and free agents that fit, or will we just clout chase for the big names?
I think we're going to probably trade for a mediocre name. Not the biggest name. I got my tier system. With my tier system, I don't think we going after the Antetokounmpo LeBron. I think it sounds good. The cloud chasing part, it sounds good, but I think we're gonna go after whatever fits with Randle, maybe.
Well, we're gonna see, because I know right now there's a whole lot of talk about Julius Randle, and by the end of the show, and hope y'all can stay there and see, we're gonna get into some of them scenarios that was out there we talked about last week. Right. All right, so then where do we look to improve though? Because the talk is that we had the contracts to unload, you know, to create salary space for free agents. We got future first-round picks to use if we decide to part with. And then we got matching salaries to use in a trade. Now, all that sounds good, but recent memory always tell us that the Knicks' problem wasn't having money to get the big fish. We just couldn't lure them there.
Yeah.
So I was watching something the other day where they just made it seem so obvious that we'll have everything it takes, you know, by not doing the Donovan Mitchell trade to go out and get whatever we want with all those elements combined. But that's easier said than done for us anyway.
I mean, with the Donovan Mitchell trade, out of all these years, that one actually isn't our fault. You know what I mean? They went for that number one priority. They was going to give up players we didn't want them to give up. And we thought they was giving them too much. In hindsight, they wasn't giving them too much because them players ain't did nothing in the playoffs. But they did everything in their power to get that man, and they GM didn't want to give him to us.
No, that was us.
No, that was them. Remember, we offered them the package.
Yeah, we didn't want to give up.
They declined it.
Yeah, we didn't want to give up the two elements that they wanted.
No, that was later on. Remember, they declined it. Said no. Now we want.
Of course.
We already offered them what? RJ, quickly. It may even been 2 first rounds.
Yeah, Obi.
Then they turn around and want it. No.
Yeah.
No. So
they wanted
that.
They wanted the 5 firsts, and you want RJ, and you want Grimes.
That would have been the same old Knicks nonsense. Like we got to take what we can get. No, we're not doing that no more.
Yeah, and I think that's why that article that I saw, where they were saying was that because we didn't do that deal, we set ourselves up this summer, which could be for a better deal. You know, but sometimes who wants to keep waiting a whole year?
But
you know,
it's not same old stupid Knicks no more. This is a whole new. I feel like we're going into a whole new era of Knicks now. Well, now look, you got Mitchell Robinson. That's probably like one of the longest playing Knicks now that I've recently seen. And then you got Josh Hart, that's a beast. You got Jalen Brunson, that's looking like he's an up-and-coming star. You got Julius Randle, that 2-time All-Star now.
So are you saying that in terms of trade, or are you saying that in terms of what we got as far as keeping?
I'm talking about of what we got of the identity of the Knicks. Like, Knicks ain't no slouch now. Not only they not no slouch, you got people in the office that's actually doing things that's benefiting us than hurting us. Nothing we did hurt us. It did make us a little bit better, even if there was better moves to be made. It made us better.
Yeah.
So now, like you said, players don't want to come to the Knicks. All of a sudden, we get to the second round, and Jalen Brunson look like Hemi Brunson, Jalen Himson. Now players want to come play with him.
But see, I think they will want to come play with Brunson. But see, I think this is the dilemma for the Knicks, because we got to touch on Julius Randle, and then I want to talk about what are the pros and cons of trading Julius Randle. So just put that in the back of your head for a second.
First?
No, I want to talk about this first. When we look at the perception of where the Knicks can go from here, so it would be much easier, because when we get into this thing I want to do with the scenarios of some of the teams that somebody had put out, I'm not advocating trading Julius Randle. I like Julius Randle. But I'm saying, but for the sake of argument, like, we didn't get a full... If the Knicks went into the playoffs and they played their heart out, right, and they lost in the second round...
They just played regular.
Playing their heart out. Then we could say, okay, it's easier for management to even say, well, we left it all on the floor. Now, this is what we're missing. See, we still left out. We don't know yet because Julius in the playoffs haven't given us his best yet. You can always say he fizzed out to a degree. This time, he played better this time than the last time. But, you know, RJ and IQ, see, we didn't get the best of everybody to really know what we actually missing. Like, we could say another star, okay, but what element is that star got to bring to the team? Right. Or we could say another shooter. We don't know what we're missing yet because we didn't get the full Julius. We didn't get nothing from IQ. You know, we got minimum from RJ. And then surrounding that, we didn't get anything from Mitch, really, you know, on the offensive end. So now management can't just put their finger on, I'll just dump this piece into our lineup and we good. Because we didn't get that. So do you come back and work it out? Or do you slightly bend and go another way? And I ain't say slightly because I ain't talking about overhauling the team. So that's why I asked that question. Now, as far as
if you trade Julius Randle, it got to be somebody equally or better than Julius Randle. Now, I'm not talking about the potential of Julius Randle. I'm talking about his performance right now. Yeah. So if you trade him, you got to go for maybe the Paul George or maybe even Kawhi or somebody. You know what I mean? Or put him in the trade. Now, if you go for the superstar, then you might be rebuilding a team behind that superstar in Brunson. You know what I mean? Then you might have to, then it's a whole different look. Yeah. Now, if you're just looking to trade RJ, which to me is a little bit easier, depending on who you get, I would keep Randle. You know what I mean? Like, if you get, I don't know, for RJ's spot, what's the dude I want on the Nets? Mikal Bridges. Yeah. You get him, I want to keep Randle.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean by fit.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a fit. Yeah.
If you get him, RJ's gone, Fournier probably gone. You get him, you go get some more shooters. I'll keep Randle. If not, then I'll trade Randle first. Get Fournier out of here. His contract probably big or whatever. Trade both of them. Somebody's gonna want both of them.
Yeah, they want his expiring contract.
At this point, I'll either throw a Hartenstein or Jericho. Y'all cannot get rid of Mitch. No matter how bad Mitch played, he only gonna play as good as they give him the ball.
Well, yeah.
Or they put him in the system. It's not like he missed his moments where he was supposed to maybe post up at this point. But if you don't do it all season long, what make you think he gonna do it now? He ain't Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, but his problem in the playoffs though with Mitch would have been like those. You couldn't get to those balls. You couldn't. You know, you're fumbling around the rim, like things like that. But again, nobody played good really, other than Brunson. You know, nobody gave us a real steady as far as people that we counted on. Because even sometimes fans be too hasty about wanting Randle out. But I look at the saying that buyer beware, right? Sometimes it's about getting rid of somebody, but there's sometimes the saying got to be seller beware. So we got to be diligent on make sure our players like Grimes, you know, IQ, and even Randle, before we think about selling everybody off, you know, we got to beware. Like, we know what we might be getting when we bring somebody in, but what are we sending out? Because we know now we can get to the second round. Or should I say we know we can get to the playoffs. So now what's going to get us over the hump? If Randall really played much better, we have a better understanding that, okay, now we could just put in a fit. You know, you put in Mikal Bridges, right? And then you don't really got to you might have to give up RJ, but you still get to keep IQ. You know, you said shooting, IQ and Grimes, because now you got that bona fide scorer and shooter in Mikal. Now Grimes can fall back into that real role of defending and just knocking down that three that Fournier should have been doing for us.
Right. But another problem with the Knicks, too, it's like on my mind, that the players we draft, that we trade away, I don't think they ever go to a team and do that good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think our development of Grimes and Quickly is going to be super great. Look at RJ. I think they do what they can do on their own. When they go move on in their NBA career, they fizzle out. Kevin Knox, Alonzo Trier.
Yeah, but most of our players don't end up on championship teams.
Yeah,
with playing a role.
Now, the players that we get that's veterans, Taj Gibson, Morris, like, yeah, they go on to better teams and have better roles, but they're already solidified in whatever team they came from when we got them. So I don't know. With that said, over the years about the Knicks, well, like I said, we're not going to know because now we're going into a new era. So now we're going to a new era where we got Brunson that already been in the league. We got Hart that already been in the league. Hartenstein that already been here. And then Jericho that probably just recently got here. RJ. They doing better than our past picks.
Yo, that's for sure.
So now, that's what I'm saying. So now we got to see now going forward. Are we going to be making a mistake if we trade them too fast?
Well,
that's going to be my issue.
Yeah, but this is...
Or we're going to have another Kevin Knox where we see the potential. Because remember, I'm actually tired of potential.
Well, look, let's go back to
Mikal Bridges give me hope. Because of what he said on the past team, and how he said he be that guy that you was in college.
But he had the opportunity. See, he didn't have the opportunity in Phoenix. That's the same thing with Knox.
Talking about in Phoenix, he had the opportunity, he said.
Oh,
somebody got hurt.
When two people got hurt.
Yeah.
Right. So then
they said, you need to step up.
Right. But we didn't have that. Kevin Knox never had that with the Knicks.
Right.
They didn't. Yeah, he might got a chance to start, but they didn't have the chance to be the man. Yeah, I think in Kevin, but we knew that coming out of Kentucky, Kevin had a slow motor. Coach said that. Colin Perry said that. His motor is slow. But getting back to our players, we're talking about leaving, going, doing other things. Because Jimmy Butler, what he did say was nice was, in Miami, yeah, you got him and Bam, but everybody get a chance to play their game.
Right.
So when somebody goes down, the next man up, because that position, they're not counting on the player. They counting on the position.
Well,
see, but the Knicks don't do that. The Knicks
Miami was a little bit different though.
Who?
This Miami team is a little bit different.
No, but think about their teams.
At this point,
though.
they fight for contracts.
They never but you think about other than the LeBron era, and then they even say during the LeBron and Wade era, if you take those four, even you add Ray Allen, but you take out all the guys around them, right? They're not the same team.
They're not.
They don't win. So what Jimmy was trying to say is that it don't matter who that person playing that position. This is what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? So the Knicks we don't do that to our players.
Yeah, but is that kudos to the coaching or
that's their system? That's their system. But
our system is trash.
We don't count. Right? We don't count. Well, like most teams, like a lot of teams, the Knicks count on.
System wasn't no
they
better.
They count on the pecking order.
Right.
The pecking order is star player gets the shot. Next player comes up, third player gets, and then you got that fourth role player that gets a lot of, and then you got the sixth man. See, we don't have that.
Between us and the Celtics, whatever system we both had, trash. I mean, Celtics traded away their coach.
But look at our players. If we had that system, if Grimes at the 2 guard, you get to be whatever you thought you was gonna be coming out of college, right? When you was All-American. Right. So look what you got coming out of there. RJ, rather than sometimes have to wait, if you could be Maple Mamba, right? Then you got Julius, and then you in who's before Brunson. Let's just not count Brunson. I think his game just translates anywhere. But even like an IQ, if everybody could just be what they are, regardless of who's on the floor, and that's what Jimmy was trying to say. He's like, they're not role players, they're teammates. But again, that's their system. Miami's not going to change that, which also could be why they don't get the big stars.
Like I said, in Miami, it's still a little bit. Their stars in line because their players are coming straight from the G League or wherever they're coming from. They not the go-to guy when they sign to these teams. They fighting for their life.
Yeah,
it's totally different when
but they're given an opportunity though.
That's what I'm saying. They're given an opportunity.
Right. That's all people want.
They thinking about. They sitting down with their agent and they're going, listen, if you have a good shooting year, your job is to shoot. If you do good this year, today's price ain't just, you know what I mean?
But
it's totally different with the Knicks. They coming in Maple Mamba. They coming in Jalen Brunson coming right after Luka Doncic.
Yeah, Julius Randle.
Yeah. Two-time All-Star.
Yeah.
They coming in with that mindset of, I can go anywhere.
All-American, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if the Knicks was coming in, if they was all coming in from the G League, like I got something to lose, it'd be different. Hart coming in like I done been on 7 different teams. They keep trading me away for the stars.
Well, he's gonna play the same way.
But that's what I'm saying. So his mentality is I want to stay here. He's gonna play at the level that he's supposed to play at.
Well, it helps him playing with former players, playing with Julius and playing with Brunson. I think helps him hit the ground running because he probably would have came in the same way in a shell, unless you got your 2 stars of our team as your boys to a degree. So that gives you the confidence, so nobody else can say nothing. So, but again, as time rolls around, it's all going to shake out because now, by the time we get past the draft and free agency, then I think we really can sit back and look and say, getting to that second round, how nice it was.
I mean, right now, we just missing one thing. We building around Jalen Brunson. So, I think players know now.
Well, we'll know that.
99% sure that it's Jalen Brunson.
Well, yeah, but now, right?
Fournier came later. He's not doing all the other stupid stuff he was doing before. He probably just going to shoot.
Yeah. Well, let's say this. I'm willing to say it's Brunson's team after the trading deadline.
Well, yeah.
Right? Because the Knicks we in a good spot. All right, but what we're going to do before we're going to look at, and we're just going to indulge ourselves. This is something that was already out there, so, and then y'all can still give us y'all opinion when y'all hear it. And we're just going to take a look at some of the trade scenarios. And there's 5 quick ones we're going to go through real quick. We ain't got to spend a whole lot of time on them. So scenario number 1 is with the Sixers. Okay, now the Knicks get Tobias Harris, Furkan Korkmaz, I don't know who that is, and 2 second-round picks. And the Sixers get Julius Randle, Evan Fournier. How does that one, does that move the needle anywhere?
It don't move the needle too far, but I'll take it.
I mean, Tobias Harris be nice, the 2 second-round. I mean, I don't
know the other guy.
Yeah, I don't see that one.
Then again, nah.
Nah, I don't see that one.
I thought you were going to say like Joel Embiid.
Yeah, well, these are some of the... Okay, now the second one is with Dallas. The Knicks get Christian Woods, Reggie Bullock, Tim Hardaway Jr., and a protected first-round pick. And Dallas get Julius Randle and Isaiah Hartenstein. No. Nope. You know what? If I would like that if Reggie Bullock and Tim Hardaway Jr. was like, instead of being 6'6", if they was 6'9", I would like that.
Yeah,
you know.
Moved on from it.
Yeah. He said, okay. All right. Scenario number 3 is with the T-Wolves. The Knicks get Karl Anthony Towns, Kyle Anderson, which is slow-mo. Keep Anderson out away from me. Timberwolves get Julius Randle, Obi Toppin, Evan Fournier, 2024, wait a minute, first-round pick, 2026 first-round pick protected, 2 second-round picks. That's crazy.
Wait.
For Cat?
We get Karl Anthony Towns and who?
Kyle Anderson. He's a good player. Yeah, they call him slow-mo.
And then who we give up?
We give it up Julius, Obi, Fournier, and 2 first-round picks. One of them top 10 protected. 2 second-round picks. So essentially saying you're giving up all that. You're giving up Julius, Obi, and the first-round picks for Cat.
I say this. If Denver win, I'll take it.
If Denver wins,
I don't know if I'll give up Obi, though.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why. But I'm looking at the picks, too.
Because we're going to need Obi. Then we're going to need somebody. Because Towns, he's going to play center, right?
Yeah, Towns going to play center. The scenario for that one, I would like Mitch will come off the bench. I would like that.
Harden's got to get traded, and I'll keep Sims.
Well, Hershey don't got to be traded because he could play power forward too. He don't got to be traded.
He's not playing power forward.
All right, but I'm saying he still carried 3 centers because you see what happened with the injury.
About Jericho Sims.
Right, he could be power forward.
Carl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, Jericho Sims.
Carl-Anthony Towns,
he can get
Jericho.
traded.
Yeah, but Carl-Anthony Towns, Jericho
RJ
Sims at the 4.
I'm talking about after that. In my head, RJ got to go.
Yeah, but Sims at the 4. I'm saying if you get that scenario, you ain't gonna start Mitch and Cat.
No, Mitch coming off the bench.
Right, but who's the power forward?
We gotta go get one.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't start.
Gotta go.
Being that, I'm saying,
RJ gotta go.
Being that Cat is a scorer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not much of a defender, but being that he's a scorer, you could pair him up because he's a high volume scorer. You could pair him up with Jericho as the power forward to rebound and block shots. You know, because you're not gonna lose nothing there. Nah. That's something to look at. You know,
something to look at, but nah.
All right.
Because Cat don't do it with the teams he got. He got great teams.
No, he scored. No, he scored.
He don't move the needle.
He don't have to move the needle.
He got Anthony Edwards over there.
Listen,
he had Russell. What's his name?
Anthony Edwards is garbage.
What?
I'm saying. What I mean is this: what Cat would give you is he'll give you 20, 25 from the center position, inside and out. We don't got that element.
No. So
you're still going to get perimeter play because you still got room to still have get another perimeter player. That's what I'm just in that scenario. What I think is we do need some down low, constant.
No, I said I'll do it if Denver win the final, right? Mm-hmm. What Jokic is doing, Carl-Anthony Towns going to look 10 times better because that's what he do.
Well, that's
Same
what I'm saying.
thing.
So now your power forward can just be a defender and rebounder.
I'll take it and then go get free agencies in that power forward position.
Well,
you can get something for RJ now. Hartenstein, you can package that up, get that up out of here too.
But your power forward don't have to be a scorer if you got Cat.
No, that's what I'm saying. You go.
So why wouldn't Jericho fit?
I said keep Jericho, get rid of Hartenstein and RJ. I said keep Jericho.
Yeah, then you try to get
him.
Yeah, then now you try to get the Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to scenario 4. Scenario 4 is with the Hawks. All right, Knicks get John Collins, Sadiq Bey, 2nd round pick, and the Hawks get Julius Randle.
Yes, sir. I mean,
crazy about it. I mean, that gives you a power forward and a small forward out of that. So, again, I would like that if you got Cat. Now, if you got a scoring center. Yeah. Okay, last scenario.
Then they won't get Julius.
Yeah. Last scenario is that with the Wizards, Knicks get Kyle Kuzma, DeLon Wright, 1st round pick for Julius Randle.
You don't get Kristoff?
No, I don't like that neither.
No. I don't want Kyle Kuzma. I want Kristoff. I don't know. Nah.
But this in lines with when the article, when they're talking about this would be more fit than clout chasing, other than Cat. So that was just some scenario. Just tell us what y'all think about some of them. And we get into it.
Cat to me is, I don't know what tier I'll put him in. He like at the top of it too. Like that 2nd tier for me. Like
he's that way.
I guess.
Yeah, he's that for us. He'd be a perennial all-star with us.
Yeah, because I think he's like the top of the all-star.
Yeah, because he's gonna
superstar.
He's gonna play down low.
He close to home. He might be happy.
Yeah, but he's gonna knock down shots.
I think he fits with that Jalen Brunson.
He do because it opens up the driving lane. Now you can kick out to.
It's just when he get there.
Well, he's not a defender or a rebounder.
Yeah, when he get there, Randall's probably going anyway. I think you got to get somebody that does the dirty work in that power forward position. More mid-range. We need more mid-range. RJ would stay if he was actually the Mamba and shot mid-ranges. Nobody shoot middies no more in the NBA period, but he don't post up shoot a midi.
Yeah, the only one shoot mid still is what's my man over in Dallas. He's the only one that really do the mid-range.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that Carl-Anthony Towns, even though I feel like we giving up a little bit too much, but
too many 1st round picks in there though. Too.
I don't think he get hurt as much.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because
Mitch comes off the bench. I think he does way better coming off the bench.
Yeah, he had to come off the bench. I mean, we all love Mitch.
Basically a starter coming off the bench. He might
and he comes in for defense, and he still can get a whole lot of his time.
Remember, D Rose is gonna go. I would give up Hartenstein.
But now you see they talking about. I saw something yesterday.
Was Fournier in that trade? Fournier can go.
Yeah, but they talking about maybe. I saw something yesterday where I don't know. I forgot which. I got to start quoting where it came from. But they were saying that the Knicks are considering keeping Derrick Rose if they could restructure his contract. Like, they would have to release him first and then bring him back.
But here's the thing with that.
All right, they didn't play him. I know. When you needed him, you didn't play him.
When you needed him, and I asked a Heat fan at my job, I said, if Derrick Rose would have came off that bench, how you would have felt? He said, oh, no, they can't hold. He said it. He said it.
Well, it wasn't about, but it wasn't about.
No, he said if he would have came off that bench, he said, I think the whole game done changed.
Right, because it wasn't about they can't hold Derrick. Derrick didn't have to come off and score 20. Derrick wouldn't have been rattled bringing up the ball.
Yeah, no.
That was, we couldn't even get into offense. So that's what Derrick. That's why I still understand.
Saying, what did you keep him for?
Why?
He's not super vocal on the bench. He's not like Alonzo Mourning. I'm not Alonzo Mourning. What's his name on the Heat?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Center. I forget his name. Whatever.
He should have played. He should have played. Fournier even should have played. But Derrick definitely should have got in them games, especially when IQ went out. But even when IQ, before he got hurt, Derrick should have got in them games. So that IQ, all y'all got to worry about is shooting. I'm going to control the ball.
Yeah, Udonis has him. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
He ain't vocal like him sitting on
Yeah,
the bench.
he's like behind the scenes, or they come back to the bench talking to them. But, you know, to me, that's you definitely can't give him $15 million just to sit there again.
I mean, the sky's the limit for the Knicks. I just don't want to see them get somebody that's no more potential. I can see them bringing back Porzingis, but Porzingis get hurt a lot. I don't think he moved the needle. And Jalen Brunson and him played together. I don't know how.
He moves the needle because you're going to get what he does when he plays.
I'm talking about he don't move the needle a lot. Carlton Towns move it a lot. Is it gonna? We get out the second round? Yes, I think we got out the second round.
Yeah,
but it depends on who's in that power forward.
Yeah, we need people who are going to be. Well, it's hard to say playoff tested until you playoff tested in New York. In New York, we don't go to playoffs enough to see who's playoff tested in New York.
And then we need more shooters.
Well, again, we definitely need more shooting. But if Grimes and IQ gonna give,
IQ my boy.
Well, we got to make them shooters though.
We're
asking too much for
IQ
everybody.
my boy, but is he gonna be like Vincent and all them that just sit there and grab the ball, shoot? Or is he going to facilitate the team?
We got to give the role, right? We got to give.
If he's going to come off the bench after Brunson, he's going to facilitate the team.
Yeah.
He's not going to be that kind of shooter. As much as I want him to be, he don't ever do it. I'm like, just pull from behind the arc like Damian Lillard.
Just shoot it.
Yeah, shoot it. Now, Grimes, another one. Like, is he going to want to sit down and just, like Mikal Bridges, just pull it? Because you're not doing nothing else when we wanted you to.
See,
you had the open floor to do whatever you wanted, and you just stopped.
Remember, let the shooters shoot. Put that in our game plan, though, that the shooters shoot. Like Miami first game against Denver. They missing wide open shots, uncontested. They make half them shots. They in that game all the way to the end, regardless of what Denver was doing. Miami, you missing. Yeah, you can give it to Denver's defense, but Miami, you just missing wide open shots, especially in the first half. So those shots you was making against us, you even more open, and you missing them. So it's just, we got to get shooters that come in and shoot. If you're a shooter, the most thing we want you to do is shoot. Of course, do other things, but shoot the ball. That's the only way we're going to find out where we are. Right. So we're going to get a steady diet from Brunson. We already know that. All right, so that was just something we're going to just wet our whistle with this week. But as time goes on,
I want to hear more of the clout chasing.
We're gonna figure out, what route the Knicks can go, really without gutting the team too much.
Right.
All right.
I mean, they can always, get me for $10 million.
They ain't gonna give you 10 cents. $10 just to stop talking.
Listen, the other day, we went out, shot a couple free throws.
Oh, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Until next time. Peace. That's because I didn't win.